I hope that these videos go some way to inspiring you and motivating you to do a little bit of wine tasting to accompany your WSET Level 2 Award in Wines study. I have put together a series of videos and gone a little way to help you understand how the systematic approach to tasting works, how the WSET want their tasters, professional and enthusiast tasters, to apply the systematic approach to tasting wines. Okay, the systematic approach to tasting wine, you'll have learnt by now, I'm sure you've covered this chapter in your books already, is a framework, a guideline to help you create a tasting note, to help you assess the component parts of a wine, and then to use that information, that data that you have gathered during the wine tasting process, to be able to make an evaluation of the quality of that wine. At level 2, we keep it fairly basic. We're asking you to look simply at the intensity of the aroma characteristics, just to describe 2, 3, maybe 4 different aroma characteristics in a wine. We want you to recognize sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol, body, and the finish of the wine as well, and then use that information to make a very simple assessment as to whether you think the wine is acceptable, good, very good, or outstanding. As I explained earlier, it is a framework. The idea is to use this system for every wine that you taste. That will help you build up your knowledge of the world's wines, their characteristics and the quality levels that can be associated with them. But it's also going to help you calibrate your palate with other professionals that you will speak to in the industry as well. So whenever you're in a seminar or a wine tasting with other professionals and that taster says this wine is high in acidity, you'll know what they mean when a wine is described as high in acidity. You'll know what a tasting note means when you read it and it says this wine is medium sweet. You'll understand that because you've been through the systematic approach to tasting, you've calibrated your palate with all other WSET students, and you'll know what everyone is talking about. So you'll have known as well that the systematic approach to tasting has 4 parts: the appearance, the nose, the palate, and the conclusion. The appearance is very simple. You just hold your glass at a right angle over a white surface, at a 45-degree angle, not right angle, you'll lose your wine then, 45-degree angle over a white surface, and make an assessment of the colour. Basically, if there's a little core of colour in the middle, but most of the rim is very wide and very watery, you would describe it as pale. If you have a little bit more gradation of colour, then it's going to be medium, and if there is colour all the way through, you would describe the wine as deep. Lemon has a trace of yellow in it. Gold is a much sort of deeper, shinier colour. Amber, you start to get orange and brown tints in the wine. Purple is when it's bright pink around the edge. Ruby is a classic red colour. Garnet is when you start to see a hint of orange in the rim of the wine. I'm going to leave the other characteristics to describe as we go through the wines in the videos. I've gone through each wine very carefully, describing the nose, the palate, and the conclusion. So rather than go through each of them now, I'm going to save that for the individual videos. The important thing is to look at all of these characteristics rigorously and precisely for each wine that you taste. That is what's going to give you your accurate assessment and evaluation of the wine at the end of the day. Once you've written your tasting note, of course, you've got a great description in front of you that you can then use to help describe the wine to colleagues, to friends, to members of your family, whoever you're talking to about wine. You have the a description in front of you. So the systematic approach to tasting also provides you with a tool to help you write a tasting note, a tool to communicate with other people as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for watching. I hope that that's giving you a little bit of insight into how or into why primarily we have a systematic approach to tasting, and I will leave you to watch the videos of the individual wines that I will be posting separately in the online classroom, so you can get a feel for what the wines taste like or should taste like according to the systematic approach to tasting.